Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars Vintage Collection Rogue One Imperial Combat Assault Tank from Hasbro. Now this is a 3 3/4 inch vehicle, and because it is part of the Vintage Collection line, it comes in that packaging that looks like the old style Kenner Star Wars packaging. So on the front, and pretty much the same on the back, you've got the Star Wars Rogue One logo with that silver border, again reminiscent of the old Kenner packaging, and then you've got some pretty cool artwork of the toy with a bunch of stormtroopers and Imperial tank drivers. The Imperial tank driver is not included with this vehicle, unfortunately, which I'm a little disappointed with, because I thought, I almost swear when they originally announced this, they said it was going to have a driver. Now I know the driver will be coming in the second wave of Vintage Collection card back figures, but as it is, you know, it's a little disappointing we don't get an actual driver with this tank. Still, the packaging is cool, and again very reminiscent of Kenner. You even have the Kenner logo here at the bottom. On the sides, on all the sides, you basically just have images of the toy, you know, showing off the various accessories and features of it. And then again on the back, it is pretty much identical as the front, with the same kind of artwork and everything. Now this box is not terribly big. This thing measures about 17 inches in width, and then the height of it is just a little bit over 10 inches. Okay, so here's a look at the tank outside of the box along with everything else that's included with it. So there is some minor assembly required with this, but nothing major, and they have included an instruction sheet that shows you how to work everything and put it together and such. But basically the only thing you have to actually assemble are these cannons, and you just pop these in on the side here. So that's nice, and I'm also very happy to say that there's no decal sheet with this, so you don't have to apply any kind of stickers. Everything is painted, and it does seem to have pretty nice paint detail. And then the other thing that's included are these canisters, these transport canisters that you see in the movie. Okay, now with these canisters, these are pretty cool. So first of all, they are nicely detailed. They're done with an orange plastic. You've got the black wash, so you've got the wear and tear on them. You've got the paneling sculpted on there on the sides and on the front and everything, and then you've got some decals and such painted on there, so it does seem like it's very movie accurate. Now with two of these are hollow, and you can just pop off the sides here, and you can see there's nothing in there. So if you actually wanted to, you could like stick some stuff, some like weapon accessories and stuff in there and store them in there, and then just pop this back on. But with this third one, this one is actually not hollow. You can still pop the side off, but you can see there's no hole or anything, so you can't put anything in there. With this one, what you want to do is actually lift up this top panel here, and it's two panels that you can lift open, and then inside reveals the kyber crystals like we see in the movie. So these three here are actually removable. What you want to do is just turn this upside down and they'll come right out. And we see these in the movies. These are what the Empire are getting to power the Death Star. So, you know, it's cool that they included these, and these are pretty nicely detailed as well. Again, done with the orange plastic, and then you've got the darker gray and even darker ring here. So again, seems to be movie accurate, and some sculpting detail on the back as well. And then, like I said, you can just store these inside this canister, just put them back in and drop them in, and then close these panels, and then those just fit on the back here. So I wouldn't really call that assembly, but you do have to put if you want it to transport these canisters, you do have to put these on there as well. Okay, so here's the tank fully assembled and everything, and you can see it's not too big. Basically, this thing is about just under 13 inches in length, and then at its highest point is about 3.5 inches, maybe a little bit under 3.5 inches. So it's not a huge vehicle in its own right, but I do like the detailing on it. So it's definitely got some nice wash effect throughout, so it looks like the metal is worn, looks like an actual tank and everything. And I like you've got different colors on the weapons. They're a gray color, and it looks like they've got dirt, and you've got some scratch marks here. So it definitely looks like this tank has seen some action. And on this side, again, you got a lot of scratches and everything, and this is all painted on there. So overall, really nice detailing with this. And then you've got the weapons on the front. So you've got the two big side cannons, and those you can rotate up and down. You can actually rotate them all the way around if you pick it up. So you've got that rotation. And then you've got this middle cannon, which you can rotate back and forth here. So I like that. And I like you've got like a bunch of rust on this. So again, just really nice detailing with the paint applications on this tank. You know, they really went all out in that regard. Now, as far as features go, you've got the canisters that I mentioned before, or you can remove those, and then you've got foot pegs here in the back, so you can stand figures up in the back there if you want to. And then you've got this is a engine cover, so you can remove this, and then you've got the inner workings of the engine there. So a nice detailing with that. You've got some metallic silver, and then you've got a little bit of yellow there. So overall, that looks pretty good. And then you've got this hatch, so you can stick a figure down in there and have them kind of stand up and look out. And then you've got a hatch here for the driver, so you can open that up, or you can open up this entire panel and it reveals the cockpit inside, and with it you can seat two figures, and you've got the steering columns on both sides. And I like how you can actually move this back and forth. It doesn't turn, but you can actually move the steering column back and forth, at least this one here on the left side. The right one seems to be more static. It doesn't stick out as much. So that one doesn't have any articulation, but I do like how you can move this one here. And no, it doesn't seem like it moves anything. It just kind of moves back and forth on its own. But again, you've got nice detailing with the wash effect on the seat, so it looks like the seats are actual metal. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera. And then you've got a lot of nice sculpting detail. You've got some controls here, and these look like are stickers on the inside there. Again, I don't know if I can get the camera angled enough for you to see it, but you've got some nice stickers there with some detailing. And then you got, I don't know what this is supposed to be, kind of matches this piece here in the engine, and it's done with yellow. And then I like all the detailing like on the sides with the pipes and everything. So I think they really went all out to make this movie accurate. Even though I don't think we ever actually saw the inside of the cockpit, but I'm guessing Hasbro maybe got a hold of some concept art for the vehicle. So the detailing on this thing is really nice. Now the treads are actually actual real treads, which is interesting. You generally don't see that. They're made with a rubber material, so they do actually move. You've got plastic wheels. Actually, you just got plastic pieces underneath. The wheels don't actually move, but the treads do. So you can kind of move it along like a tank, like a real tank. And then you also have these side paneling pieces, which is interesting. So you can basically, if you don't want to put the canisters and you don't want to stand your figures back here, you can put these floor platings down, and so it makes for a flat surface there. So that's pretty cool as well. So even though this thing isn't huge by any means, and really for moving parts, you've got the cannons and, you know, the floor pieces and stuff, but, you know, it's pretty much a solid piece overall. It's not super heavy or anything because, you know, it's hollow inside. But the detailing is where this thing really shines, just with like all the detailing with the controls and the cockpit and the wear and tear that they've done, the, you know, effort to give it all that wear and tear on the outside of the tank and everything. You know, I think this is something that looks straight out from the movie. So, you know, if you like that kind of detailing on your vehicles, then I think you'll be happy with this one. Now, I've got to give Hasbro credit because they've even given us some nice detailing on the underside of the panels on this thing. So this is the panel that goes over the cockpit, and you can see there's like a little fan here and some vents and everything. So that's really nice detailing. And then even on the engine cover panel here, you've got some wash effect and some sculpting detail on there and everything. So again, just overall really nice attention to detail on every little piece of this vehicle. Okay, so I've gone on and sat some figures in here. So these two figures are currently in here are just ones with 5 points of articulation. Now I don't have an articulated tank driver yet because that hasn't been released yet. And again, this tank does not come with an actual driver, which is probably my biggest complaint about it. But as it is, you know, you can fit two figures in here pretty good, and then this guy sits in the back here, I guess, giving orders and stuff, and there's a little hole in the back here inside the cockpit where you can see his feet. So, you know, you just basically put that guy in there like that. Now, with these guys, with the articulated guys are going to fit a little better in this seat because it's better when you can bend the knees. But you can get either a fully articulated figure or just the 5 points in here. They will fit. Note that this guy that sits in the driver's seat here in the main driver's seat is going to sit higher than this guy over here, and it's meant to be that way because basically when you're going to put this piece on here, and then the guy's head's going to stick out of the hatch here. So when you have a figure sitting in the seat there, you cannot close the hatch the way they've made it. So basically he has to drive with the hatch open like this. So just again, be wary of that, that when you have a guy sitting in here, he's going to be up high, he's meant to be up high, and that you can't actually put this piece on and close the hatch when you've got somebody sitting in that seat. Once you have the tank on a hard, flat surface, well, it doesn't necessarily need to be flat, but it does need to be hard, then you can move it along and the treads actually move, and you know, it works pretty well. If you don't have it on a hard surface, then the treads aren't going to actually move very well, so just be wary of that. But you know, again, as long as you have it on a hard surface, you should be able to roll it along, and it is cool that they made it so the treads actually work on this. So that's my review. So overall, I would say this is a very solid looking vehicle. I think Hasbro went all out with their attention to detail on it, with things like in the cockpit, all the detail in the cockpit, and just the overall weathering that they put on this thing. The paint applications are really nice, and this looks like something straight out of the movie. Now, my biggest complaint with it is that they did not include a driver figure. I do think they should have included one. I can't remember if they originally said they were going to, but even if they didn't, I think they should have included the figure with it. But otherwise, I think it's very solid. If you're into the vintage packaging, then that's an added bonus for this one. But if you just want a well-made Star Wars vehicle that looks accurate to the movie, I think this is definitely worth checking out. It is up for pre-order at many online e-tailers. We'll have a full image gallery up at JediInsider.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel by hitting that button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You should also hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And of course, you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch accounts. I have links to all those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.